never heard that, but that's the origin of CAP. I'm going to look this up. I'm going to look.
There's a principle that we have to follow.
Yeah.
We have to have.
Be true to yourself. You don't have.
And when I came back, the place was a mess. So I knew I was missed.
Deep in here now.
It's incredible.
I love it.
Me
That's
too.
good.
That's
Yeah.
good.
And applying the recovery, I thought.
Hello, and welcome to the McShin podcast, Get in the Herd. So we decided to do a little women's takeover today on this Wednesday. So I've got our CEO, Honesty Liller here, and then we've got our lovely AmeriCorps member, Brittany here, all the way from Maine.
Woo!
Yay! So I'm going to let Honesty kind of take the lead on this one mainly because I don't like my voice.
Oh gosh, can y'all hear me? I had to cut mine down. You didn't blow my damn it. My ears, bro. Or sis. So, all right. I'm Honesty Liller. I'm the CEO of McShin. I have my shoes off because I cannot lean back in this chair. I like to sit up and have good posture. Oh, there's my shoes. So I'm Honesty Liller and McShin rocks. I just celebrated 16 years of being an employee here. So McShin helped to save my life 16 and a half years ago. And I started working here when I was 5 months in recovery. So seeing all these awesome humans come into our organization and get a life that turn into just beautiful and amazing journeys that I get to watch. And I've been doing it a long time. And then when we get to hire them and, grow this organization with leadership and professionalism and ethical, greatness, it's awesome to see people. I remember. So anyway, we'll talk about it's Brittany, bitch. So if you know me. I love the queen icon legend, Britney Spears. So every time Brittany's around me, Brittany just comes in my head and it's Brittany, bitch. So she knows it and we love her. So, being able to see women come through. When I lived in McShin, there was no female staff. It was 3 males that were working here. And then after I moved out, obviously I'm first female staff, but being able to see so many awesome women come in through the organization and like become professionals in this field and, get certifications and stay a longevity of their recovery. It is the most beautiful thing ever, being the lead here at McShin. So I do want to say one little thing. I just remember you on the floor in there, like you were rough, it was a rough situation. And we do have a partnership with the state of Maine called Operation Hope. So that's where Brittany came from. We have, if they go into, I'll tell my little tiny bit and then Brittany can talk about it. But when they go into the jail there, the jail system pays for them to come to McShin, their flights and everything, and gets them here at the McShin Foundation. I want to say we have over 38 people from Maine. That number might not be 100% accurate, but around that bout, you don't even have to cut that or edit. Around that bout, that's my Hanover County.
With that country accent.
Around that bout of, I still said it anyway. Damn. That many people that have come to the state of Virginia to get help because the McShin Foundation is nationally accredited, nationally known. And so we build partnerships throughout the United States to get humans into our organization. So with that, Brittany, I guess we just she's a little shy, so bear with her, but we love her. And we just told her to just pretend like she's talking to us in our office. So all of this stuff just disappeared.
Yeah.
How did you find McShin or how did you end up in Operation Hope? And yeah, let's just start there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I got to a point where I was reaching out for help, different rehabs, but they were all hospital based. Couldn't smoke, couldn't have coffee. I said, no way. And they also had like a 3-4 month waiting period. And by then you change your mind every day, whether you want to get clean or not. And I kept seeing on our local news about Operation Hope. And I actually had a a distant relative come down through here. So I knew about it, and I packed my stuff up 3 times, went down to Waterville PD, sat in their parking lot, and I changed my mind the first 2 times I left. And that 3rd time, I was just so beaten down. I got to the point I didn't really even care if I lived, but I didn't have the courage to die. So I packed my stuff up for the 3rd time, walked in there, and I begged him. I was crying. I said, please save me from myself. I don't want to put another needle in my arm. Like, I know I have warrants out. So if you can't get me in a program, please lock me up. I don't want to die. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. We do tip for Steve. Need tissues in this
We
room.
need tissues.
And they don't judge you. They say if you have any drugs, they'll take them.
Without charging you.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. They just they want to help people. They don't want you to think that you're against them, because there's so many people that are dying up there. So yeah, it's a walk-in, kind of like a walk-in clinic. You walk in there and tell them you want help. No judgment at all. They I think they partner with 300 different facilities across the U.S. And they find an open bed for you. They pay for your plane ticket.
How fast do you leave when you go there and ask for help?
So normally they tell you to get in there as early as possible, because they'll ship you out the same day. I went in there at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They're like, I can't promise it to you. But they found an opening here, and he said, if I pay for your plane ticket for tomorrow morning, you got to promise me that you're going to be at Bangor Airport to get on that plane to go to Richmond.
So where did you stay at that night that you were like, I am for sure showing up to the airport in the morning?
I actually reached out to my son's father. He tried to help me multiple times. I went up there to his house, tried to detox on my own, made it to like day 3 every time, and then I ran back to my hometown. I knew that was a safe place to try to detox, but it just wasn't the right place. So I went up there, and they brought me with my son to the airport at like 4 a.m. I was already sick by then. I had a layover in New York City by myself, never really been out of Maine. It was scary. And I didn't get here till like 1 o'clock. That was the worst plane ride of my life. Could not get comfortable. Felt like it was 2 weeks long. And then I was greeted by the most wonderful lady ever, Angie. And I thought I couldn't smoke here. I get in her car, and she's like, do you want food? I said, no, I just need a cigarette. She's like, here you go. I smoke. You can smoke in my car. I'm like, you are an angel. That's all I wanted. I've been on this flight for, I don't know how many hours now.
Angie's so amazing. Yeah. I miss her.
I will never forget, like, the first person, that I met here.
That's how I felt coming in and meeting Joyce. Like, and I'm so glad it was Joyce and it wasn't someone else. I feel like I would have been scared if it was Jessie.
No,
I don't know if I would have done it.
Joyce is an angel.
Joyce is amazing.
She's a tough
I don't remember Joyce my first day. I remember I did all my computer work with John P.
Oh, Jay Pizzle.
And my head was on his desk. And then once I was here for a minute, he's like, I don't like no one touching my desk. I'm sorry. I was literally dying.
I was actually feeling like that.
So how did that work out? Did you have linkage to a detox when you got here?
Yeah, it come with my package. The police told me that they needed to know if I was detoxing or not, so that you guys were ready for me when I came.
I mean, it's such an incredible program that they're running with Operation
Mhm.
Hope, providing all this linkage to different facilities or organizations, because from what I hear, we get a lot of Mainers is what we call them. But, when I speak to all of them and they talk about home, they say how difficult it is because all the resources are so spread, like they're spread out.
Mhm.
They're a lot of wait list, so there's not a lot, and there's not a lot of like recovery support. So like there's not a lot of like recovery meetings around, or if you have two options, this one or one an hour away. And so I think it's a really aggressive way for them to attack the opioid epidemic,
Mhm.
and I wish that a lot of other police departments did that, because a lot of people that have substance use disorder, they're scared, they're scared completely because
Yeah.
they don't want to die, but they don't know
I don't wanna
how
go
to get to help.
jail either.
I don't want to go to jail. If I go and ask for help, y'all are gonna charge me. This is gonna be my fourth possession. I'm a repeat felon, and I love what they do, and I wish a lot of other places did that. And I think especially in like like what if Richmond PD did that, or what if places like in DC and Baltimore and Philly,
Mhm.
they adopted that mentality, in that kind of format. I think it could be life changing, because you've been here and it's like you never left.
Yeah.
You're in Virginia now.
I am officially been here a
Oh.
year and a half.
Yay.
Yes.
So after your initial coming in and that's how you got here, like how has it been, since then? What have you been able to achieve? What have like if anybody out in Maine, like because this goes into 735 jails across the United States. So if there's people that are incarcerated, watching this in Maine, what would you suggest to them? Obviously come here. I mean, that's it, but also like just some tips that how you've gotten through your early recovery and now you have over a year now. Kind of talk us through some tips like that, like coming from a different state with a bunch of strangers and
Mhm.
then the struggles. Cause I remember, one struggle was real. You were laying on the floor. So I remember that. But how if anyone has happened to be listening that's still using out there too, or they get out from incarceration and start using again, what are just a couple things that have helped in your personal recovery?
So it took me a couple
I
of
know.
tries. I have relapsed a couple times in the beginning, but I didn't give up. I've
Mhm.
fallen many times, but I got back up and kept fighting, and I didn't
Mhm.
leave. I think it helped that being here at McShin, like they loved me until I could see the light, honestly.
Mhm.
I'm going to try not to cry.
Mhm.
They never gave up on me. You guys haven't. I've never had so much support. Like, I've never had so many friends in my life that didn't want nothing from me. It's just genuine love and just wants to
Mhm.
see me do good in life.
I
Oh.
love you.
Love you.
Oh, that's amazing. So the herd, so the peer-to-peer connection. So, all of us, all of our staff that, and I think all of our interns, honestly, most of the interns are in recovery, some pathway of recovery, their personal preference. So it's really that important, that connection piece, that love,
Absolutely.
that loving that individual where they're at. If they have a recurrence of use, like what do you do with that? How do you manage that as an organization, but also protect the human and help the human. So it sounds like throughout that, you still stayed at McShin. We still, wrapped our arms around you. And now look,
Mhm.
you're an AmeriCorps member here. So what does that look like? Did you, I mean, I know for me living in the house and being dope sick and like getting on medication, I never thought I'd be the CEO of this organization. So what does that mean to you? Like now you're able to give back to other women. And I know she's a huge help with Destiny House, which is our pregnant and parenting house. We have two new babies, 1 month old and a week old baby. So, how does that feel as a woman, as a person? Being able to give back, like, what does that mean to you? I shared about in the beginning a little what that means to me, working here and having a career, but what does that mean to you?
I absolutely love what I do. I never thought I would be where I'm at now.
Mm-hmm.
When I first come in last year, I didn't know. I've never known what I want to do in my life. Like, what do I want to do when I grow up?
Right.
Even though I'm already
Yeah.
grown up.
An
you know?
adult. Are you sure?
The other grow up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the longer I stayed here, after my relapse, I was the house leader for a little bit, and it became my passion. I wanted to help that newcomer like everyone else helped me. Like, don't give up. I know you're detoxing, but this is the last time you got to feel like you do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was the house leader for a while, and then I eventually took the PRS class, and I just kept growing in my, in the career.
Mm-hmm.
And now, yeah, I wear a couple different hats.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an AmeriCorps member. I help with Destiny.
Maybe even a
And-
soon-to-be certified peer recovery specialist.
Yes,
Mhm.
I'm working on getting my high school transcript
Mm-hmm.
to take the test.
You got it.
Trying to wrap up my couple little odds and ends that I've been working on. But when I first came here, everyone's like, I got my kids back. I got a year clean. I got my own place. And I'm trying to look down this tunnel, and I'm like, there's no way.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And now, a year later, I haven't achieved all that, but I am getting there.
But it's like you
I never
start to
thought.
see it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Brittany, I remember when you came in, was it 2022?
Yep.
Yeah,
August.
2022. And just to see the independent thinker, the leader, the person that is vocal and like speaks up for herself and others, it's like that you've grown into, or it was already in you, right? But it just has been, guided out. It's incredible, from, one of the longest standing intensive house leaders for the women. Was out there for like 6 months, just every day pouring into women. And then you finally get out of that just to want to keep doing it, and it's just incredible to see. And now you have this strength behind your voice. You're able to herd and kind of guide the men, which I'm not saying that men are more difficult. I'm just saying you have to be a little bit more, strong armed when you're saying something as a woman, them taking it from a woman for them to listen to you. It's like, I see you do it day in and day out. You're giving people really good advice and suggestions. Like, it's just amazing. It's amazing.
That.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the growth has just started, because I couldn't have even imagined a year ago how I would be even now. So given what a little over 2 years ago, when honestly, you and Jesse hired me for the initial position, and just some of the, those growing pains of like having that real job, like that adult stuff going on, and realizing like, man, people look at what I'm doing and like, maybe I shouldn't do this, or I should say this. And it's like all of those things, or maybe I shouldn't wear this, or and it's just great that we have examples that are real life examples. Like for me, it's like, oh, I can see someone like Honesty. I can see someone like Carol. I saw someone like Jillian. Like, and I know that you all weren't just like came out of the womb this way. It's not like you all had your growing pains too.
I still have
Y'all
them.
did your stuff, and y'all had your research that y'all did. And so it gives some sense of hope, like, and it's crazy because we always see so many men of like these really big idols, or like these really big icons in the recovery field. And I'm not taking anything away from that, but it's just like really incredible to see this huge influx of women getting recognition for the work that has been happening, and it just shows hope.
Yeah, and it's like also being able to grow the organization to where it is, to where it was, forever ago is like beautiful for me to see. Like, so, because even in the recovery space, because I started out in 12 step, I don't do it now, but that's how I started out, is my pathway. And it was like, even in the recovery community, it was male dominated. And the women from 12 step adopted me because there was no female staff. I just always say adopted because they did. They taught me how to be a lady. Oh, Brenda, and all them, and Rach, and like, and taught me how to, talk, and just so many things, because I started using drugs when I was 12 to 26. And it's like your brain doesn't fully develop, right? All the data's out there. I'm not going to quote anyone, Google it. But but the reality for me sitting here on the second floor, and being able to see so many women come through here, and we're able to staff them or AmeriCorps them or whatever, is just beautiful. I mean, it's really cool.
AmeriCorps. I just want to say the legends come from AmeriCorps.
Oh Lord!
I'm not saying me,
legend,
but I'm saying
legend.
Jillian, Mo was AmeriCorps.
Oh, yeah, that's
like
right.
all these people were AmeriCorps. Matt Grant,
yeah,
Chelsea, all these great people.
I know.
Were AmeriCorps rocks. It was a great stepping stone. For a lot of people in this field.
And we have such an awesome Jesse handle. He's king at that. He handles the AmeriCorps relationship. We have such a great relationship with AmeriCorps, and we've been doing that for 5 years, I do believe now. So it's been, if not longer. What did I say? Why are you laughing?
5 years. I feel like I think that's right. Probably right.
Jillian, Maggie, because she anyway. I don't know. I'm not good with all this year, that year, but I'm trying to stay in the present. But anyway, yeah. So like being able to see house leaders or whatever, participants to house leader to AmeriCorps to, helping with our biggest, I guess, house that, has the most liability is these little babies. Well, they're not running around yet. They're just, eating and pooping. But is a huge responsibility, and it's like a respect thing too. So like for me as being the CEO and seeing so many women, like I have respect for you guys, because y'all are actually doing probably more than what I was doing, because we only had one female house, one or two in the beginning, and then it built to now. Look, we have 6 female houses, 10 male houses. We've grown significantly in a multitude of things. We got this awesome award-winning podcast that Steve, shout out to Steve. Shout out Steve. Steve out here has worked his butt off on, and really has created a beautiful place the past 6 months or so of where this goes, where this podcast goes, and the value in the content. So Steve rocks. He is the man in the room. He is the man in the room. Behind the plan, which we love. And so what, just to kind of close it up, what are a couple things that you're looking for
How did you know?
to
I was gonna say to
2024?
Wow, she copied me.
2024. Here, Brittany war. It's Brittany, bitch. I said war.
Yeah,
I didn't say
it
war.
rhymes.
You don't have to edit me ever.
Yeah, it rhymed.
I don't care.
It sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
I can't wait for.
She's like, please just let me say it so I can leave. She's like, shut up. I just want to finish right
Y'all,
now.
I'm just excited we got Brittany on this podcast because she's so shy and she doesn't realize it, but she's very impactful with
You're
her
doing
words.
Great. She's like, I gotta go. All right. What was I saying? Oh yeah. What are you looking for in 2024?
I can't wait to see what this year brings. I know how much growth I did last year, and I can't even imagine what is going to happen to me this year. So like my thoughts are here, but what I'm going to achieve is way further beyond than what I can even imagine. Because I am surprised how far I've made it so far.
Yeah.
I am trying to like move out this year because I'm still in housing.
Brittany, never leave us.
2 years in August, so it's about time.
Yeah.
14 months clean.
Yeah.
But I want to stay here. I honestly, like, McShin is my family. It's not Richmond or Virginia. It's McShin. And I could never leave this place, really. Because if it weren't for you guys and everyone here, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I probably wouldn't even be alive at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just forever grateful.
Well, we're so grateful for you,
Aw.
and I said I don't want to ever leave, and I haven't. So, woo. So, but I think, the reality of like all of this is like seeing a beautiful human coming from an amazing program in Maine, Operation Hope. Big shout out to them, and being able to get individuals that aren't just right in our backyard, but that can come from other states is just a huge blessing as well. And then the work that you do on your soul, not just the passion and career that you have here at McShin. I mean, that's how we're able to do what we do and love what we do, because we always have to take care of ourselves too. So when I see that in you, and I see you setting boundaries, and at least over here, because I can hear everything in Christina's office. FYI, maybe don't get that out, because I'm like, what did you just say? But anyway, like, I'm proud of you. You freaking rock. You do amazing. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart on how much you do for Destiny House specifically. So that is, a huge part of my heart. So I think you're a badass, and we're going to keep going.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. You did 1000% excellent. And Steve, get some tissues up in here.
I had
know.
some. Somebody took them.
Oh, sure, Steve. Well, everybody have a
camera.
safe and happy 2024. Me and Monique are going to
Yes.
try to jump on here more and more.
Yes.
And get some guests. And yeah, so recovery rocks. Bye. Bye.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.